Well, hello, hello. Originally, I wanted to make a video or make a recording when I got to maps, but as you can see, uh that is not the case. So just to so you can manage your expectations. I'm in X7, so uh, can't really talk about what's happening in maps just yet. Now, am I massively over leveled, level 63, when the highest zone that I'm going into at the moment is 54? Yeah. Yeah. Am I slow? Absolutely. Am I having fun? Yeah. Yeah, I do. But let me have my excuses here, because I was putting it on the side while I was watching, all the Hololive VR stuff here and there, and then that was watch along as well. So the great thing is that I was able to do this, just have it chill on the side. And as you can imagine, I was leveling with SRS for quite some time. And you just press the button every time the 3 unleash number shows up here. Like you press it like every once in a while, and otherwise you can just chill and run around. Very, very rarely, if you have an issue with something hitting you and life going down, you just press the flask. But I did, I think I did die a few times, 3 times, but that was like very, very early on. Then I was like on a two link SRS. So I think the moment I actually this actually deigned to put on a melee splash, because it felt like the breach stuff, like that was like the only time that it could really overwhelm me when I didn't have melee splash on. So I just had basically SRS, a minion damage. That was my 2 link, even though it was sitting on a 4 link, but that was like one of them. I guess technically it was like a 3 link or a 2.5 link, because I just had minion speed, because that's what the quest gave. So I was like, yeah, that just goes in there, and the melee splash was not available there until I get to the library, and then when I got to the library, I still forgot to do it, and then I just got it a bit later. But obviously, overall, had no issues, because you just press down the button of the SRS, which is obviously this is not SRS anymore. But you press the button down, and then you just keep pressing it down until the little skulls beat the enemy, and that's how it is. And I was just slowly walking through everything while I was like, so basically, it was like uh, what I was watching was on this side, and the PoE was like in this corner, and then anything else would be like up here on this area of the screen. And I was just like looking there sometimes, see if everything's going well. And obviously that with the addition of the breach stuff, because I want to go and clear all the breaches, because you want the blood, because I want to do the stuff, want to do all the graft thingies. But obviously there's not enough blood at the moment, right? So just hop in here. As you can see, I have a few sitting here waiting to be born. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about the 3. At the moment, I'm like, I have the 5% the full stack. I think I got like full stack alt. No, it was transmutation. I think if it was alt, then that would be like a big thing. Here, I didn't really think about like what exactly I wanna like tailor for. So I just went into all the extra, reroll sockets and links, modifier tier, better values, fractured. So like I just took all these in this 3, and then I guess I went for the boots, because I was looking for boots. And I guess I'm still looking for actual boots, because if you look at here, you just have it mainly for the links. So basically, like the only things that were actually bought from this is the six link, which I didn't even think about really getting the six link this early, because obviously there's not much of a need for it. But then I checked and it was, you know, uncorrupted six link, 7 chaos, and then you basically just go and you, as I was usually doing. As you can see, I don't really have any odds anymore or chaos, but that's besides the point. The point is that as I was, you know, going through the game and identifying everything, and then you sell that for odd shards, and then you just have like a cute little stack going for you as you go along, and then I check at the currency, and it was like what? It was like 12 to a chaos, then 11 to a chaos, then 10 to a chaos, then 9. So it's like going up, I guess. I don't know if what is more right, like going the odds going up in value. You know, less people are picking up the rares and doing them, or you know, just more valuable to use, or chaos is going more into the economy. So you know, that kind of stuff. But for me, you know, when stuff is like a few chaos that I want, then it's very good. And obviously at that point, like this is one chaos, and it was a kind of an annoyance because I, you know, summoned my you know, specters, and there's like, you know, the whole, you know, quality of life that you don't lose the specter, but then if you like unequip it, then you lose the specter. But I guess that's not even technically true, because I think if you desecrate, then it's still gonna summon the specter's corpse, so you can raise it again. So it's not even that big of a deal. But I guess I just went and got it again from Act 2, because obviously I'm running the two Carnage Chieftains for, you know, the Frenzy Charge gen. Yeah, I don't think there's anything better before you buy. As you can see my Animate Guardian is just the staff and the helmet. And I guess I'm gonna get the cassock soon, because obviously garb of the ephemeral at this point is very expensive. I checked, SNOTS is like 170C, which is like pretty nuts. I don't know if it's gonna be like, you know, coming down once, like, you know, the top people gearing out their AGs, because I'm sure someone else also uses it for, you know, something, and just equipping it, or like even here you can just you know, whip it, and I guess you can put the despair, like get like a random despair corroded implicit, and then throw that onto the Animate Guardian instead, and you can just use the SNets on yourself. But yeah, I don't know. And everything else, like obviously this one, and also what was interesting is that I want to grab this thingy here, right? Like there's this it doesn't matter where, right? But like the life of the 15% increased maximum life, there are no life modifiers. So what happened is that I got the chest, and then I was like, oh, it has life modifier on it, but it's fine, because I'm just gonna, you know, scour Alk, and then just, you know, scour Alk a few times. I had four scours, and I used them up, and they always ended up hitting a life one. And then I went and I got another scour exchange from the you know, chance orb at the vendor, and then I tried it again, and this was the result. I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess I'm gonna stop, and I guess I'm just not gonna have the life, that life mastery, yeah, life mastery in the tree, until I graduate to the Alas. That's gonna be a bit off from here, but as you can imagine, right? Like there's the 10 here, and then the 20 here, 20 cooldown, so it adds up to 30, which is kind of annoying, I guess, that it doesn't show. I mean, obviously it's there. Like, I mean, it doesn't show on the gem because it's not, you know, part of it. But like other modifiers, you know, would add to that. But on the sheet it will be basically 30%, right? And that's the second breakpoint. So things are going pretty nice. And everything else is just obviously aside from this, which is like one chaos. And then I just qualitying up was like more expensive than the thing itself. But I started qualitying up, and then I realized if I wanna quality it up later again, then I'm gonna have to resummon the specters again. It's kind of annoying. Not too big of a deal. It's just a little bit annoying. So I just qualityed it up, and then I checked the percentage, and it's actually such a low percentage as well. Not that it really matters anyway. So yeah, and even the armor and energy shield is bottom roll, so it's fine. And this one is funny because obviously it looks terrible, but I in my infinite wisdom decided to gamble for an amulet, which is like super expensive, which is like 2 point something per, because I thought, hey, I just need like one semi-usable necklace that has like attributes on it, so I can whip and use my stuff, right? Because like this one, I guess this one's not too bad. Where's the other one that has like higher dex requirement? I guess nothing much at the moment. But yeah, just without it, I couldn't like unequip a belt that had attributes on it. But anyway, like the defense, as you can see, is the resist cap. But again, this is still cruel, so later there's gonna be another penalty, which is like obviously not gonna be that big of a deal. And obviously don't worry about the saber or this. This is just basically there because it has a high dex per second and it drop. But like the modes that does, like it could just be like a basically any sword with like a high tech speed, because the Fizz as extra cold doesn't do anything. Obviously the damage doesn't matter, and damage taken, that's obviously not a good thing. But yeah, and in the meantime, as I go in here, and obviously things are gonna be not very relevant because I just finished Cruel, so I also have the only might have 6 link in Cruel. I'm super over leveled, but obviously I have only the chance to poison in the gems and not like no other real source of poison, right? So that's the 40% hit, and I do not have any other sources, because obviously that's gonna be like later once I get like a darkness enthroned, and then you can like slowly get, because I feel like you really need that. Otherwise you just need too many sockets in the tree, which obviously is gonna happen eventually, but for now I'm still traveling on the tree, as you can see, right? Like I haven't taken any jewel sockets yet. I get this 37, 36 at the moment, so obviously that's pretty far from like the block cap that's gonna happen eventually. But yeah, like a long way. I'm just much further into my tree than I should be at this stage, because I have a lot of levels above the area. I'm like 10 levels above it, like 9 levels. So yeah, and you can see like I'm pretty slow. Like, this is like the tempo that's representative. Just go through. I see with the red health bar above them, I hit them until they disappear, and slowly moving towards the objective. I just remembered to start leveling that despair that dropped, because I'm gonna use it later. Even has 6 quality, kinda cute. So yeah, like I said, it's not very relevant to see gameplay of it at this stage, so I can just start talking a bit about, first of all, the quality of life. Like crazy good, and I'm thinking that it might hit the critical mass for me. You know, like for example, I was, you know, going and playing Torchlight, like off season, let's say, and then I was like, you know, got bored by, like I did my challenges and whatnot. I just didn't really, you know, plan to keep playing or rerolling something else in PoE League. So I haven't played Torchlight, but it feels like the quality of life, you know, we got the async trade and, you know, like even leveling all the gems together kind of stuff. I'm sure there's like, you know, other things as well in the quality of life that have changed. But I feel like those quality of life features that were existent in like the other RPGs. I guess I shouldn't say all other ARPGs because I've only been playing Torchlight aside from PoE. Torchlight Infinite, I mean. So feels like the quality of life stuff was like a big reason. I was like, you know, going there, like not wanting to deal with the hassle. Like one of them is you know, like the trade, for example. But then when like those things, obviously not necessarily everything, but important things that arrive into the game that you already like, and you've already been, you know, playing for a long time. Which is like definitely a long time, because at this point we're over 10 years of playing PoE to, you know, varying intensity. So yeah, I don't wanna, you know, go into the dead or scary stuff again, like what I was talking about yesterday. But you know, if that somehow gets, you know, sorted out, possible, then I do foresee myself playing a lot. But that's like a big if. You know, one can hope or dream, but yeah, I definitely feel like this adds the ingredients for League for me to push it a lot, even though it obviously doesn't really look like that. But at the same time, because I'm not ever planning to be, you know, competitive in the economy, I guess, in the early days, or like pushing really fast. Especially because I mentioned that there's like other stuff that I wanna actually watch on the side in like the same time frame. Like for example, this tonight is gonna be Bibu's Bibu's 3D live soon-ish. What is it? I guess it's like 7.5 hours, so not that soon, but relatively soon. So after this I'm gonna watch that, listen to that, and then PoE is gonna be on the side again. But I can still, you know, slowly get to the campaign. And as for the 3, like I mean the 3.3 Genesis 3, it's pretty simple, but it also, you know, feels pretty fun. Like the loop of it, right? You take out the breach. The protecting is not too bad. I guess there are other builds that kind of struggle, I guess, with protecting an NPC. Okay, I guess I can't really cross through that. I think I should be able to, but I'm not gonna sit there and keep trying. So yeah, that had you know, problem because the enemies bypass the damage, like them delayed a little bit. I mean, obviously poison is delayed in some way, but it's not delayed in how its damage takes down, not in like the mobs are not gonna avoid it altogether. Like they're not gonna sneak under my holy relic attacks. And I'm a little bit lost now, it's right there. So yeah, I also get lost sometimes on the map. But I think that it's a dead end, and then I realized when I checked the entirety of the map that it was not actually a dead end. That there was a like a little entry there that leads to the end. Like the door should be there. Should be finally the X7 boss, but I'm so over leveled, it's crazy. Like I'm about to hit 64 on this one. So yeah, back to the tree. Obviously you have the possibility of haunting that full stack mirror, I guess. It's like the super dream. It should be like theoretically possible. Super dream. Like I said, on the equipment side, I haven't really gotten that far into it. And I guess these are not bound or anything, so like they can be like sold from what I see, but I don't know if there's like anything that's better than just the Molten Shell Light one. So I'm basically equipping the one that is like the highest available level, Heart of Flame. Missing life, fly above, takes some damage from hits from you before hitting. So yeah, also mess identifying is also very nice. I like that a lot too. And yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Like I said, very over geared and over leveled. And everything is just life, res. The movement speed here, life, res. And you know, some stats, like I said, to kinda sort out being able to actually equip the items or the gems. So yeah, and we just arrived in Act 8. So I think that's it that I can, you know, reasonably say today. And obviously once I get to the actual maps, I'm not gonna be this slow anymore, because you can't really be like, it's like a different structure obviously compared to having to go through the campaign. So from then on it's gonna be the usual filling out the atlas tree. I haven't really checked like what changed in the atlas tree, so it's gonna be a little bit of a surprise once I actually get there. But yeah, the TLDR is basically I did SRS until I, you know, collected the pieces, which are, you know, quite cheap, and you find chaos, you get more currency from the tree, you get more currency from the auction house, I guess, if you just like swap your odds for chaos. And yeah, that's that. So far I haven't sold anything myself on the auction house, or, you know, the trade, or however you want to call it. Like, it sounds like auction house, because that's not really auctioning anything, but marketplace, trade, shop, whatever, merchant. So yeah, I guess I could put this down to 1. But I'm very happy with the Think Trade. It by in itself, it's a massive quality of life. I like it a lot.
Journey
And
well.
I'm gonna do the craft obviously later, like the whole, you know, trigger the offering kind of stuff. But that's gonna be later anyway, because for that it should like coincide kind of with the time, right, when you get to the Mistress of Sacrifice, and that's when you know, it's gonna be like block cap ish, right? Take this. Like my tree is a lot further ahead, thanks to the bunch of extra points from the levels. So yeah, all right. now I'm really out this time for real. Bye bye.